another ban in terms of the XP, but for Team Falcons, actually they are going for the target ban on Clock, and one of his best picks is actually Kufra, so Falcons have done their homework, but what is his second? And let me now expose his second best pick. It's Lolita.
It's Lolita?
Yeah.
That will be so... I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see the reflecting shield reflected entire Nibiru's Bastion or something crazy like that. But we'll see in a little bit, right? For all we know, in all intents and purposes, we could be wrong here. The Joy is the follow-up ban coming in from 4Merical. You have any predictions for Falcons' last ban?
I'm kind of wondering if Phoveus as a hero needs to be respected somewhat, because it's quite often banned out when you're playing a hero like the Nolan, just to make sure that you're able to roam around more comfortably. Obviously, EXP lane's already gone. It could be flexed to mid, but doesn't quite feel comfortable for Miracle. So we'll see whether they go for that or continue focusing onto Clock's hero pool.
I like the direction you're going in. My only problem is that it also kind of bleeds into the support, because the support technically needs to help out Phoveus to clear out these waves to match timings if mid decides to move first with their roamer support. I see the Angela get banned out, very smart ban coming in from the side of Falcon, take away their global presence, and Novaria instantly gets locked in.
Well, there's a really good pick that I didn't quite mention. Good Night is a really good Valentina player. I don't know if I missed saying that or
I'm noticing a trend here.
So Valentina is being picked by Team Falcons, and this is one of not just the best picks for Good Night, but it also prevents the enemy teams from picking some specific heroes that they do not want to deal with their ultimates and their between the players themselves. So actually, adding one more thing, Super surprised us in Mina by that Franco performance. So seeing him play Franco again, I think he's so confident.
I mean, this is why this match has been titled Super Clock for a reason. And now, the final pick, the Fanny. This will be super interesting because both of these assassin junglers are very snowball heavy. If you deny a single purple buff, that could really swing the favor into one team's side.
But is it Fanny jungle though? They already have Martis, they already have Yuzong. I'm having difficulty figuring out where this hero is actually going to go. So we're already seeing something very unique come out of 4Merical Esports in response to, honestly, an incredibly solid draft from Team Falcons.
Looking at it, let's sum it up here, Yasu. What do both teams want to do?
Well, for Team Falcon, they actually want to take that team fight sometime with the penalty zone, but for Team 4Merical, they want to depend on Fanny in terms of the early game, but if it went south, if it went for late game, we have Beatrix.
I see. It's time. Take us into the land of dawn.
It's going to be game one between Team Falcons and 4Merical Esports. Will the Falcons be able to soar through the skies, or will their opponents bring them down to the ground? The land of dawn shall bear witness.
It's going to be Falcons on blue side up against 4Merical on the red side.
But there is something really strange happening. Am I seeing a Mortis tank?
Martis tank? I mean, it looks like he goes into the mid lane because Clock himself is showing up as a support down by gold side.
What happened?
Look, it's a weird time to be alive, but let's see whether this works, because I think the distribution of gold and impact in this game is going to be a little bit more interesting for Miracle. Let's see whether Amox has refined it to make it a working machine.
My big question here is, we knew Amox was going to change some things to 4Merical, but I was not expecting this. Yahiko was the gold laner. Clock is playing mid. I don't even remember where Lunatic Panda was previously.
Yahiko is the jungler?
Yeah, Yahiko is playing Fanny jungle, despite being known for the Leslie Claude gold lane.
It could be a hero pool sort of thing, but let's see. This hybrid is now doing so much damage.
That Yuzong is dead. Gets the final Petrify in. The setup for Yahiko. Hawk drops low. He will trade 1-for-1 in the EXP lane.
Nicely done, and that's what we're expecting to see from these teams. Never let a kill get away for free.
Well, after seeing that Petrify being perfectly executed by Hybrid, we know why this trade have been tied to the favor of Team 4Merical after losing Yahiko. What's happening?
Yahiko going in, dropping Lotric, low diving the tower and getting a second kill for 4Merical in quick fashion.
If I remember correctly, Staffa did mention that 4Merical really likes to be aggressive. Yahiko, he was like, no purple buff, no problem, I'll make it happen.
Did you not mention it, or did you not intend to mention it?
Look, conspiracy theories shall be kept for later on. For now, the turtle comes up and Martis, he's nearby.
They're already on top of it. Leo getting started here. Xerox in the area, the only one for 4Merical. He's actually diving very deep here. Could be dangerous, but Super does not have Bloody Hunt. Turtle dropping to 30%. 4Merical not gonna contest it. Yahiko not even in the area.
I'm more surprised that Xerox gets to just sit around there for free. Like, he's not punished whatsoever. I mean, at the end of the day, they got the turtle, but I'm just waiting to see when does this Martyrs pick become relevant other than kill resets.
Well, a wise man once told me that Fanny is not a neutral objective hero, so just a wise man. So he said that its most, like its peak performance is that very early games. So so far he's been annoying Lotric so hard, and he's been like getting on his nerves. Just like, I don't know if he got under his skin yet or not, but Team 4Merical are actually doing great.
It's gonna start being difficult for Yahiko to do the same old things now that we've reached this point of the game, though, because with level 4 achieved, Super will have access to that Bloody Hunt, and he's just gonna be waiting for Yahiko.
Yeah, we can see that Leo is waiting in by Tribush right now, and this is where it gets even more dangerous, right? Having that level lead.
Yahiko jumps in, he's aiming for Logic, but gets stunned down. Super actually gets picked off under the tower. Lunatic Panda as well, traded. That's gonna be a roamer for the gold lane in favor of Falcons.
Holy cow, that's 3 battle spells already for 1.
Yeah, actually, I think it was worth it at some point because Team Falcons got only one person out of it, but Yahiko at this moment, he has so much XP. He's already like living his like best life in the early game, and again, I'm telling you, this is the time where he shines. But so far, we haven't seen any iron hooks, right?
No, none of which being the ultra impactful. Oh, that was almost about to be it. Close, but the hitbox just not there.
Looks like Yahiko was still able to secure his own purple buff with that retribution. With the turtle coming up in 10 seconds, though, that means the battle spell won't be available. This could be go time for Team Falcons.
Wait, check out bot side. It's a 3-man dive, but then the counter engage.
Super not gonna find a Bloody Hunt. In fact, it's Lotric who gets picked off by a super dive, but Yahiko picks one off.
He should be picked off because he was like way off like position. He deserves, like, whenever you do anything wrong, you have to be punished for it.
Turtle dropping low, Leo as well, but he will secure it for Team Falcons at the cost of his life. Killing spree for Yahiko, and here comes Hybrid going in, getting the knockup, but 4Merical Esports will settle for the kill on the enemy jungle.
Man, I do feel that Leo was kind of sticking around there for just a wee bit longer than he should. I mean, even though you didn't get access to the enemy's purple buff, at the very least you have your own, so you should be playing around the pit rather than deep in the middle of it.
Well, let me tell you something about Mina. When we talk about Leo and the other junglers in Mina, we either say Leo, look, it's divided a little bit in Mina. So some might say that, oh, some people are good in taking objectives, and the others are, yeah, this guy is really good at taking objectives or focusing on the rotation. So it's like it doesn't combine.
So there's
it's either this or that.
But
Leo,
flickers in, Bloody Hunt on the Xerox. Even the penalty zone seems excessive, but they get the kill. Here comes Yahiko doing some damage, clearing up the waves, making sure no tower damage will be taken.
Yeah, this is, again, I agree with you, Stapa. That was excessive. A little bit much, but this is important.
Yahiko jumps in. Not sure who got the purple buff. I think it was Leo, because he gets the shutdown onto Yahiko somehow, even though Good Night got the decimate.
Unfortunate. I mean, Leo was able to get the purple buff at the end of the day, and now mid lane's gonna get shoved out.
Good night, Yahiko, to be honest. Good night, Yahiko.
Brady misses the knockup, and that means Team Falcons gets to just walk away for free.
Oh no! After Yahiko dying, Hybrid misses an almost point blank. He overthought the situation.
Hulk penalty zone actually under the tower. He wants to take it, but he's setting up for Leo. Hybrid popped the black dragon form, forced to use it to escape. Has to trade his tier 1.
Well, he said, like, I'm not doing that good into the Land of Dawn. Maybe I can like take a detour, go outside the Land of Dawn, and then come back again. Maybe it will like reset something. So you said that he missed some of these second skills and he missed some of these petrifies, and this is something that shouldn't be like let to slide by Team Falcon. So far it's almost an equal match, but there is something really important for everyone who uses Fanny, which is the blue buff, and the blue buff is now under the control of Team Falcons. I wonder, will they go again for another steal, or will they leave Fanny be?
No, they're definitely going to at least try and contest it, even if you're not taking the purple buff at that point in time. But you get 2 kills out of it, it's still a very big win for Team Falcons. They've got that 3k lead now, 2.9, but still they might want to double it sometime soon.
And it looks like they're doing so. Contesting purple, stealing it away. Leo secures it once again. Looks like Yahiko gonna try and trade some structures instead, since he knows he probably cannot contest objectives right now.
Very good idea indeed. And this mid-tier 1, oh, hold on.
Super finds Hybrid.
What?
Bloody Hunt into the Iron Hook, but Xerox pushes away the members of Team Falcon. The Petrified knockup gonna land onto Super as he flickers out of the Bennett's rage. No casualties on either team.
It is actually so messy. What is going on? Team 4Merical, at some point I thought they will start a team fight after seeing that Black Dragon fly in the Land of Dawn, but they didn't engage. They didn't, like, it wasn't even a disengage. There was a potential fight, but then a super fast withdrawal. So at the bot lane, it was almost a kill. And so far, I think that Team Falcons are having the upper hand.
Astral Echo comes out, Lotric dropping low, torn apart memory, not going to be able to finish off Xerox. Clock staying a long time despite his low health, but will finally recall. As of right now, Falcons doing a great job of holding on to their lead.
Well, getting back to the point I was saying that Mina doesn't combine between like objectives and rotation at the same time in terms of jungler. So, what's happening?
Here he go! Messes up, doesn't get the cable he needs, gets picked up by Leo, 1v1. Lunatic Panda forced to flicker as well. The pressure from the Mena team continues.
And that's what I'm talking about. Leo, again, I want to really finish this topic. Leo, when he's performing good, he combines the both.
Bloody Hunt once again into the 2-man penalty zone. Xerox gonna get picked off by Lotric, finally getting that vengeance right here. And 4Merical Esports forced to back off.
Man, they are not letting go of any of these baits. Someone dangles a piece of meat in front of them, they're taking it no matter what. Even if they gotta force your hand to do so. But just great control over the purple buff from the side of Team Falcons. It's forcing Yahiko to really consider his options in terms of pathing.
Yeah, he's now having a rough time, and actually I want to say congratulations to myself, because I cannot believe that I finished my point. It was like taking forever until I said it.
Yep, understandable.
I mean, they're not giving up just yet. This is a very clean and easy take for the side of Team Falcons for this Lord with a 6.4k lead. 9 minutes into the game, we are seeing some devastation start to happen. 2-level lead for Leo so far.
Hybrid could be out of position here. He's actually getting slowly pincered by Falcon. Actually not going to invest too deep into it. The Bloody Hunt very early on. Lotric gonna start doing some damage to Yuzong. Will he have enough stacks of the torn apart memory? No, out of range. So the dragon flies out.
Yeah, out of range, out of service. He cannot find that Black Dragon because, again, he's outside of the Land of Dawn. He uses, like, the only thing that... Ooh, is that Iron Hook? Like, what? I didn't know actually what to expect. I was about to say Yahiko on the gold lane, but then I remember this guy plays Fanny, and then Lunatico's on the gold lane. And not just that, we have a Martis as the rumor. So everything is quite new, and I think this is what we should expect from an international event.
Well, I mean, that's one thing. Definitely, I would expect something like this, to look something like this at an international, but the aggression from 4Merical, like, they are not backing down from Team Falcons despite the 8k lead.
Pressure building up, the Lord crashing in. Leo nearly takes out Clock in an instant, but he's able to flicker to safety. 4Merical Esports forced to play defensively, housekeeping the lanes to make sure their inhibitors stay healthy.
All right, we got 95 more seconds until the next Lord starts to spawn. No inhibitors have fallen just yet, but Team Falcons pretty much controlled at least 80% of the map at this point. No purple buff access for specifically Yahiko, and the way the early game went really started to bleed into the other lanes, like Lunatic's Panda, for an example. He was doing fine, and then it goes downhill as soon as that mid-tier 1 falls.
What actually is really interesting about what's happening right now, and talking a little bit like with the number language. So we have 8k gold lead for Team Falcons, and that means that they are getting the best use out of every team fight. So after every team fight, you are either required to take an objective, like go for a Lord, a Turtle, even maybe a turret, or like a trade on the other side. Team Falcons so far are doing that, and I think this shows that Leo's experience has been passed to the players.
Okay, okay.
Oh, Bloody Hunt gonna find Yahiko. They were just waiting for him in that bush.
100%. That was all Leo. Leo was like, hide in this bush. He's going to come there. He popped up and they're like, all right, he's right.
He's a split bush expert.
He is a split push expert. Now, as they continue to these fights, right, 27 more seconds until this Lord spawns, I'm looking for a situation where 4Merical might be able to turn this around on Team Falcon. Unless... they're not going to... Oh!
Iron Hook finds Clock in the back line, pulls him into the arms of Hulk, who gets the kill. 4Merical Esports cannot save their mid laner, forced to back off.
Man, tick-tock, and Clock is running out of time. And speaking of time, we will have some time to discuss what just happened with a really fast technical balls to assure that the player have the best experience possible for the game, and also the viewers have the same thing.
It looks like the call was made by 4Merical side. Don't worry, our marshals are on it to make sure that it's going to be up and running as soon as possible. But curious to see how the turn of events. We honestly thought that at least in the earlier stages of the game, obviously kills are going to come through. Lotric dies the first time, and it's like, oh yeah, at least 4M can play through the bot side of the map. But these neutral objective takes seem so very split amongst 4M.
Yeah, I'm a little worried that this switch of roles may be affecting them somewhat in terms of the rotations, because the aggression is still there somewhat or what, but it's a different playstyle than what I've researched from this team based on their performance previously. We do have some information though that apparently Yahiko is a very high-ranked Fanny player in the Nepal server, so this is apparently a pocket strat.
Oh man, that's the thing about these younger regions, right? These players come in, they come from a very heavy solo queue background, so they could be like, yeah, you know, I could be just a traditional mid laner, traditional EXP laner, which I have a 100% win rate on Fanny with 6,000 games on it. I ain't questioning you. You take it, brother.
Well,
Now, and 4Merical Esports already forced to just stay defensively in their base.
All right, once we're getting back into it, the game state hasn't changed too much here, but right now Team Falcons, their carries are at full build. The 42k mark has been passed. 4Merical, they're going to have to go through at least 2 Lords before they're on even footing with Team Falcons in the later stages of the game.
with having such ridiculous amount of gold advantage right now, I think that Team Falcon's damage can just take the victory by itself. They don't need to execute a perfect gameplay and take someone out, but actually if they just deal with the damage they have right now with the gold difference and the XP difference, they can simply take the game.
4Merical Esports have a lot of pressure here. One inhibitor already broken down by the Lord. Gonna be dragging into the mid lane. Team Falcons will take down the second tower. The base is getting broken wide open. Black Dragon form gonna be exposed here by Hybrid as Yahiko continues clearing up the waves. He will not be able to save his base from getting taken naked. And the Iron Hook gonna find Yuzong. Hybrid taken up. Killing spree going over to Valentina. Backline gonna get jumped on, but it's gonna be an absolute mess here in the base of 4Merical Esports. Team Falcons realizing they've stayed a little bit too long. Hulk, the only one left in the base, going to be sacrificed in order for Leo and Lotric to get out with their lives intact.
Oh man, they underestimated Lunatic Panda. They're like, we got 10k. There's no way. The only person who has been farming hard has been 4Merical, to be fair. He has been doing great in the laning stages. Once he got out of the laning stage, maybe not so well, but until that point, he's been power farming to get to this level, and it netted them 3 kills.
Ooh, Lotric, he's exposed here. Gets a nice corrosive strike though to make sure that Yahiko cannot follow up. Team Falcons needs to regroup.
Whenever I see a Fanny regenerating her, let's say, energy and defending the base, one player in particular comes to mind. I think that player name starts with the word Kyrie.
It's a word. It's not a letter anymore. It's a whole word in the Oxford Dictionary at this point. Let's see whether M5 is going to make that result happen, and I'll be curious to check out the next edition. But in the meantime, right, at least from the way that I see it, Yahiko, I feel like he's starting to become a little nervous in these later stages. There was a very good opportunity for him in that Lord push to actually go out into one of the empty lanes and actually block the wave and save maybe one inhibitor.
I think he was just wary about the threat of the Bloody Hunt, right? If you fly a little bit too far, you get caught out instantly. 4Merical are missing out on a huge source of damage.
And to be honest, Team Falcons right now, they are in trouble, because whenever you are given the opportunity, I think that this is the moment for Team 4Merical to do something and to engage for that Lord. And I think that But Yahiko can actually do that some split bushing because they need to loosen a little bit of the stress on the side lane. So far everything is so quiet, and I think that Team Falcon doesn't want the Lord. They want the team fight around the Lord.
I'm suspecting that too as it begins. No, backs off. Really great discipline.
Ooh, the penalty zone flicker gonna find Xerox low on HP. Leo will secure the Lord in the meantime, and 4Merical Esports will walk out.
Really good game sense overall, a good understanding and awareness of where the map is. They can see that the top wave is not being dealt with at the same time. They know that a good majority of the members have not shown up into lane, so it's safe to assume that they're by that Lord pit. Really well played coming in from Team Falcon once they push them out of the jungle.
Yeah, look here. You can see that the fan is really like playing. I'm not gonna see semi-tanky, but yeah, I think the last item will be Immortality by any chance. But look at the goal difference between everyone. Look at the Nolan especially, 13.7k, and he's already full build.
He's fast, but here comes the Lord. This might be the final push.
Oh, Leo instantly executed in the back line, loses immortality, loses his life. The Lord is crashing into the crystal, but a nice catch by Hybrid. Lunatic Panda with a double kill. Prototype Memory not going to be able to finish off 4Merical as they successfully defend against the Lord. In exchange for like Iron Hook on the Lunatic Panda secures the double. Team Falcons, they could be pushing in for this. Yahiko, I'm not sure if that's the ultimate he was looking for. He wanted Law Trick, but Team Falcons will walk out with 3 players alive.
Well, speaking of disrespect, Leo is diving so deep in there when the wave wasn't even close. And more importantly, it's not even just about the wave. It's just get the Lord at the crystal first before you start considering these options.
I think that there was a call inside that, like, there was a miscommunication between Team Falcons because he wanted to buy some time for Lotric to find that opening for Lotric to touch the base, because the base was one touch away from Lotric, or like from any physical attack, like any player actually from Team Falcons could have took that base. But again, 4Merical are pulling a really good defense. As I told you, if early game didn't work, we have Beatrix to cover it up. And if Beatrix didn't cover it up, we can go for the split pushing. But the instant replay coming to you by Kadia. We can see right here that Yahiko got that kill, and Team Falcons didn't get the best use out of that Lord. Doing really good actually by dealing so much damage by Lotric, but Lotric got punished by the Novari. We didn't we didn't get to see the Novari's snipe, but Novari actually got the immortality of Brody.
And that's why you don't question Novarias, right? You just hope they hit their targets.
That is true, and right now 4Merical Esports is hitting the target of delaying this game until they're able to even up the net worth. Team Falcons, even though they have a massive structural advantage, is having difficulty ending the game here. They're not able to find the angle necessary. Definitely a bit over-aggressive in that previous push. So we'll see whether or not they can adjust, because the longer this goes, the more chance their opponents have to mount a comeback.
Well, I brought the topic up earlier about, Martis in the mid lane, yay or nay. I think in this particular case, now that the game is dragged out to a point where, well, at least for Xerox, he's maxing out his items on pure tank. He is disengaged, more importantly, making sure that, at least for Team Falcons, no matter how hard they dive, they cannot get 2 or even 3 people in that backline. 2 of them get peeled off almost straight away because of Xerox.
Well, actually, I wonder, was that like a card they wanted to play in later stages, not like in the first match? I think that maybe this could have been saved for a while, like used when it's not expected the most. And right now it's just a fast Lord for Leo and for Team Falcons. And I think that this is one of Leo's best plays.
Xerox in trouble, he gets bloody hunted, Black Dragon form gonna be committed, gets a 2-man petrify here, and here comes Yahiko, he's looking for Lotric, forces the flicker on the Brody, Clock gets the snipe in the back line. Lunatic Panda though will fall in return, killing spree over the good night. Iron Hook pulls Yahiko back, but he's still able to fly out. Hybrid is there to provide the peel necessary for his jungle to escape from the clutches of Team Falcons, but Leo, he's in the back line, not gonna be able to get the execute he's looking for, but this may be enough. The Luminous Lord pushing in mid lane for Falcons. Hulk not gonna get taken out. Winter Trunkian from Leo makes sure he stays alive for this push. Yahiko jumps in, nearly takes out Hulk. He still has immortality to Hybrid. Going to lose his own. Here he goes, doing a lot of damage, flying in and out. He gets caught out, Bloody Hunt, but he's actually pretty tanky, and there's not enough damage on Team Falcons to finish. Iron Hook finds Xerox once again, but the Lord taken out means that 4Merical Esports are still alive.
That's 2 times already. 2 times Team Falcon attempted to go for the end game, but 4Merical, as well as their minions, doing a phenomenal job coming out at the perfect timing, despite the almost backdoor from Team Falcon.
Well, actually, I'm not being pessimistic, but Team Falcons might not get a 3rd chance because 1 chance is good, 2 is like, okay, it's great, but 3 chances, like, I think they have used their luck, or like they are pushing their luck a little bit more than they should, because Team Falcons, if at that moment they had the Brody, they might have finished because they just needed someone from high range to finish that base. So, Team 4Merical is actually doing really good, and we have seen if the game didn't finish, it was the SMG game, right? They had so much opportunities, yet they didn't take it.
Look, we don't talk about that too often. We're on home soil. Watch your
yeah. Not here, not here.
No, I agree with you. There are times where players or teams misread situations, and I think that right now that Team Falcon is really, it's not disrespectful, but also they're not realizing that 4Merical Esports is actually scaling up pretty quickly.
Yeah, and look at the goal difference. It went from 12k difference to 1k difference, so actually it doesn't matter. Now we are 22 minutes in, and I don't think that numbers will matter anymore, but what matters right now, who's building something spicy, since we are like, everything here is spicy. I think that, Novari already have the roaming, so that's an interesting thing to see. But otherwise, I think that everyone is like playing basics and doing like really famous builds by having that Blade of Hypnosis for Fanny, and also like the Malefic Roars being semi-tanky. So there's nothing that much to talk about in the builds, but Franco is the only one who didn't finish his itemization. So with that being said, and with that being seen right now, the Lord is 3 seconds away.
Yep. This is going to be a really important one if 4Merical really wants to turn the tables in terms of just structural damage overall to get closer to the crystal. But more concerningly so, Xerox went for full tank build. Hybrid as well decided to go for full tank build. So they are the main engagers and disengagers for the team, and everybody else has to play around these two.
But I think having a good amount of peel is going to be pretty important for 4Merical here. If either one of them decided to go for damage, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have survived this long.
Oh yeah, for sure. But now, the Lord Dance has begun, and clearly 4Merical is at a big disadvantage with 3 missing inhibitors. Let's see how Team Falcon really approaches the situation. They looking for that fight, they look at the back door again.
Well, for me, I'm looking at Leo, because I'm used to see Leo at such like moments doing that split bush habit, but so far he's committed to the Lord a little bit, but I don't think they want the Lord. Again, they are asking for a team fight. Good Knight is in a really bad place, and Hybrid is after him.
He's chasing him real hard with the Black Dragon form, gets the Petrify, forces the Flicker, penalty zone as well. Xerox actually cutting off the backline, pushing them back into Lunatic Panda with the News Passion, but it's not going to be quite enough damage. In the meantime, Yahiko 1v1 with Leo. Nolan trying to look for that split push, but he's going to get stopped by the 4Merical jungler. Team Falcons now regaining ground, pushing 4Merical back to make sure they retain control over the Lord Pit.
Yeah, I think it's totally fine. I think especially if you're... the Iron Hook onto Xerox. He's full tank, doesn't matter. He also still has immortality. But the big thing for 4Merical is they got the Retribution out of Leo. And that really puts Team Falcon on edge, because even if they start rushing this, Fanny could easily zip by and try to make something happen, or go for a fadeaway even with the steel cables.
And actually, 4Merical, even though they don't have that much turret advantage, or like they don't have a turret advantage at all, it just takes one mistake from Team Falcons to finish the game. I'm not going to say just to have advantage. Xerox is in a really bad spot, but I think that because he's so tanky, Team Falcons wouldn't take the risk to just focus all the resources upon him.
Yeah, it just takes too much of a brass tax here. But now, past the 50% mark, this is where it's going to get interesting.
Xerox still providing scouting. Team Falcons, all 5 members are here. Ultimate's coming back up. The penalty zone into the backline, finds Block and Lunatic Panda. Yahiko loves the immortality! Gets the Lord for 4Merical, but their backline is getting dived now by the side of Team Falcons. Black Dragon form used. Will Lunatic Panda be the only sacrifice? Xerox now going to be left alone in the lurch. 4Merical Esports have gone back to heal. They're looking to make a comeback here. They're backing him up. Here doing a lot of damage, but he's getting terrified. Forced to recall once again. Team Falcons a bit too tanky for 4Merical to punish.
No man left behind, unless you're Lunatic Panda. He already died before they made the motto, but they make sure that their front line stays alive because they're the only people who can buy that extra bit of time for 4Merical to reset and get back into the fight.
One of the best things that Yahiko have done at that Lord dance is that he took Leo away, or like he took Leo out of the way, let's say, before that Lord Retribution battle that we all like always have between the junglers. So Leo was out and his immortality was out, let's say, at the time where Yahiko just had his safe and easy Retribution. So that Lord I think is gonna be like be defended from the front or like from a really far place, but Hybrid is coming from the backline.
Yep, Hybrid, Black Dragon form. He's looking for Leo or Lotric specifically, but he is alone, so he's not going to dive too deep here. Probably the smart choice. Right now, Lord still pushing up top lane, 50% HP. 4Merical doing a great job of zoning. They could get some towers here finally, but Leo, he finds Glock, gets the shutdown. And now 4Merical may be forced on a retreat. Yeah, he go with that final cut, going drop Good Night a bit lower, but this Lord isn't going to do too much more for them.
So far, the blocks of the Iron Hooks have been looking kind of good, but when an Iron Hook lands on a great target, there's nothing much you can do. You just have to be at the right place at the right time. And
actually, most of the Iron Hooks are on the Mortis, and every time Xerox knows how to use his second skill in a really perfect time. So really, like, huge shout out for Xerox for knowing that exact precise time to every time be at or like as expected to immune that Iron Hook. So far, Falcons, again, we have the same equipment. I don't think that there's so much changes. Nolan might have, like, yeah, he sold the immortality to continue with the damage, and because, of course, it is now in cooldown. So, Team Falcons can finish. I don't know. Are they doing? Oh, are they doing it?
Ooh, they're going for a conceal play, flicker forward, fire. Oh, they're gonna get cancelled here, but Hybrid gonna get his immortality popped out. Here you go, gonna be quite safe to do some damage here since we will no longer have the bloody hunt. 4Merical Esports still holding on even without Clock's presence, and with the Novaria respawning, Falcons knows it's time to go. Here you go, he got it. He still gets his purple buff.
Okay. So far, I mean, considering how the early game went, it's 28 minutes into this game for 4Merical. They're coming back.
I think this might be a not a record. Let's not say well, yeah, it is a record, but for wildcard because it's the first edition. So right now we are making records.
We are, but let's see how the next upcoming Lord is going to work. Because again, death timers get very long at this stage of the game.
I just feel like one of these teams needs to do some kind of split pushing at this point. The fact that there's no macro play happening 28 minutes in is kind of criminal. But there's a lot of waves pushing into 4Merical's base, forcing Yahiko in a very defensive position. This is go time for Falcons. They need to rush down this Lord. Right now, 4Merical going in. Xerox still scouting out. Astral Echo gonna be revealing their positions. Black Dragon form used as well. Falcons positioning very smartly. Finally gets the Iron Hook onto Xerox. He pushes in. Yahiko going in from the back line, but they are delaying this Lord. Falcons is doing this surgically. Yahiko, he wants it. He wants it so badly, but he knows he cannot get it. Falcons finally secures the objective after a tense dance.
Good spacing coming in from Super to make sure that Yahiko cannot get in on that pit. If he gets in, it's going to be an even bigger problem. Great communication from Team Falcon to make sure that they don't try to rush it down. He's nearby. Let's, maybe look for a pick.
And actually, 4Merical are always pressured by the amount of minions and how heavy they are because they have every time to go back to defense.
Hulk with the penalty zone onto Xerox only. Super looking for that bloody hunt here, but the Lord is crashing in. A beautiful Mortal Coil instead of Dreaming! Team Falcons is getting juggled, but they get the bloody hunt onto Yahiko. Pops the immortality onto the Fanny. He needs to get out of there. Winter Trunky and Swap is not going to save him. The Lord is dropping the crystal low, but they're able to clear it just in time. Super flickers in. He's trying to break the crystal down, but he gets the immortality pop. 4Merical are still holding. Good night and Hulk trying to stop it. Flicker in. 2-man penalty zone, but he gets picked up. The crystal finally falls to the hands of Team Falcons.
was game one. That was a game one. Falcons take it away, but it has been quite the struggle to break that last bit for their opponents all the way from Nepal. What a match that was.